started the colonies. It made up most of the economy. The first step to being a good trader is to actually choose your trade. For example, maybe you want to be a farmer, or maybe you want to be a blacksmith, or maybe you want to be a whaler. But you have to keep in mind the acts. For example, if you want to be a hatter, you have to keep in mind the Hat Act. The second step to being a good trader is to actually collect or make what you want to sell or trade. As a farmer, you would have to collect corn, or maybe tobacco. Or maybe as a blacksmith, you have to make armor. Or as a shipbuilder, you have to make a boat. Being a merchant was a little bit different. Merchants didn't necessarily have a certain trade. They just found things and traded them with other people. For example, a merchant might take their corn and trade it for someone else's tobacco. And maybe they would use their tobacco and sell it for someone else's corn. But they would pay less tobacco than they bought, so they could be profitable. Merchants don't want to trade for things that they can get easily. The whole purpose of trading is to get something that you need and you can't get yourself.
I trade my gun for your corn.
Like that. Maybe someone wants my corn and they would give a gun or whatever. It just depends on what they need. So that's how you trade. But maybe someone misunderstands you. Maybe they think you're a traitor. A traitor is someone who betrays someone or a country. A great example of this is Benedict Arnold. Benedict Arnold was an American general. He was one of the greatest, and he gained the trust of General Washington. He then got control over West Point and sold it to the British. The first step to being a good traitor is to gain the trust of someone. For example, as I said before, Benedict Arnold gained the trust of General Washington. So, General Washington thought he was one of his best generals, or maybe the best general. So he gave Benedict Arnold the control over West Point, which is a very key part in the American Revolution. Because if the British got control over West Point, then the British could easily win. So Benedict Arnold since he had the control over West Point, he gave it to the British. So you want to gain the trust of someone and get something that may be valuable to them. The second step to being a traitor is to betray them, actually. So if they give you something valuable or something valuable to them, you would give it to someone else or use it. Like go against the trust and get something that would be profitable to you. Like I said before, again, Benedict Arnold gave the West Point over to the British. He surrendered it, and to get money and a place in the British Army. The last step to being a good traitor is to actually escape. This is probably really hard. Unless you have someone to back you up, you might be in trouble here, but you still can get out. For example, Benedict Arnold, he went with the British. The British were, of course, a very strong army. So he was able to go back to the British, and he was defended. So that's how you be a good trader and traitor. Happy trading, and good luck with trading.